Let me first start by telling you that as members of Parliament, I was very pleased to get the letter from Commissioner Griffith in terms of his outreach directly to parliamentarians in order to understand every constituency one by one in terms of the nuances that projects itself in each constituency, and perhaps how he, as Commissioner of Police, head of policing in this country, can make a more proactive approach to dealing with issues.
The role and function of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we are changing in the modernization of the police service, in the transformation of the police service. There are several different units that we are now establishing. But it also has to do with our mindset. The perception that you may have seen in the past pertaining to how you viewed the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, that viewing of the service, I ask you to reconsider. And I'm speaking from a general perspective. You would have seen on today's newspaper, on the headlines, several police officers now being charged. Things like this, I ask you to look at it and see the glass half full. Look at it from the perspective that what we are doing now is cleaning up the police service. We are not perfect. No one is perfect. No police service in the world is perfect. No organization is perfect. And remember, society is also not perfect. But we come from society. What we have to do is to ensure that we are at a higher standard than society, because we are expected to be in that way. And by doing that, we are now putting systems for better transparency, making sure there's better accountability, and ensuring that police officers would adhere to our obligation to protect and serve with pride, which is what we are doing.
Police presence, once you see a police officer stand up there, you automatically have a regard and respect for that person. It is a deterrent. So instead of this day in the station, I would want to recommend that they out on the field. Instead of they pass in the jeep and they just pass and people say, okay, well, here what happened? Look, police jeep coming by, let me just stay quiet, you know, this kind of thing. And then they revert back to whatever they were doing.
We need to start getting back into the concept of foot patrols, getting police officers to be on the beat, to actually be walking. And it is not just about visibility or deterrent. It also provides an excellent avenue for what is known as human intelligence. The more officers go on the streets doing that patrolling, the more information you get from passers-by, from other citizens, persons who have information, things that you will pick up. You're not going to pick it up if you're in a station or if you're in a vehicle on a patrol. So that also you would be seeing.
So from the coastal management point of view, a security point of view, I think there has to be a system where the fishermen, there has to be some kind of accountability. Just as I told you when I went to the US, if I go in any coastal community, whether it's Jacksonville, which I went to a lot, West Palm Beach and so on, within 5 minutes, the Marine Police will be there. And if you go further outshore, you may come into contact with the Coast Guard. So you follow the rules because you have to follow the rules. So I'm hoping that the coastal security aspect of it, that something could be done about that. Maybe a return of the Marine Police or some kind of relationship between the Coast Guard and the police. Policing
is not just on the land. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we are responsible for law enforcement, and we can utilize resources in the air, the land, and sea. So what it is that we are going to do, again, through the use of drone technology, we are going to incorporate drones, and the drones will assist us greatly in patrolling along the beaches, patrolling within our borders, and this constituency as well. This information will be fed in real time to an operational command center. So this will turn night into day. We will be able to see what is happening. It will assist us greatly in monitoring what is happening, to feed back to the police vehicles on the ground for an immediate response.
We have instances where people are impersonating officers, and by extension, a family member could take this and use that because it has the logo. You know, I want to suggest that there be some sort of restrictions in terms of what an officer uses on his patrols or in his roadblocks or whatever. It has to be a uniformed, you know, and not just arbitrary way of anything that has a logo, because a logo could be printed by any print shop. You know, so I think those are the little things that are needed to help curb the impersonation of officers in the police service, and to help reduce the crime, the fear of crime, by persons impersonating officers.
I don't ever recall having a situation where someone has impersonated a police officer in the present uniform being worn right now by the officer in front of me wearing that whole uniform. What we have seen with impersonation has been the camouflage, which is in the resemblance of that of the Defense Force, which is in Chapter 1401. And the police service, that is why in our request, the camouflage that we are requesting is a pixel gray, which is in total contrast to that of the Defense Force. So, but I do understand your concern pertaining to it, but as I said, the uniform itself, because of the badge is actually going to ensure that it cannot be duplicated.